Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna. Here basically we are discussing the topic that is PHP basically. And PHP also basically have next generation basically. PHP basically are also connected with the set of people basically. Because whatever PHP data basically is getting entered basically, that are the energy of the certain level of people basically. So you can just imagine basically up to what level the stuff basically are connected. So here the topic is 150 land divided 1 crore basically. Planet basically divided the India land, and that time basically it was settled everything basically. So Sunil NAIR basically cry was settled that time only basically. That time basically there was no Krishna Bhagwan, there was no Shankar Bhagwan God, there was no Kartik God basically, there was no Jalaram God, there was no Jesus God. So this all God basically was not exist that time basically. There was no Vishwakarma God. That time basically it was not exist basically. This all God basically came after the Earth planet got birth after certain many years basically. So one of the satellite group told that basically Sunil basically if you are still getting cry then basically we have to change the entire creation, and that's very dangerous thing basically. We have to change that 1 crore planet energy basically, which has divided this 150 land basically, and due to 150 land basically which was divided, and from that basically the 5000 crore population basically is the maximum population basically that India land will generate. India land will get generated. So one of the person told that we have to change everything basically. So one of the person told that what is the alternative of this basically. This everything basically was supposed to think by the Indian government basically, but they have not thought basically that they might have never thought that basically the things will connect up to this level basically. The small thing basically Sunil NAIR basically is getting cry by Indian nationality which has connected up to this level. They might have never thought that basically. Even basically the God group, that is the Jesus Christ, Jalaram group basically, they also basically never might have thought. Shiv Shankar God, Kartik God, they also basically might not have never thought this basically. Shri Ram God, Shri Hanuman God, they never might have thought this कि यहाँ तक भी बात जा सकती है, because they never thought of the public only basically. They never thought of their people basically. I had done 33 years of fasting of Hanuman God. The Sri Ram God and Hanuman God basically family never thought of Sunil NAIR. Why? That might be some reason basically, because there are thousands of people basically. Who will think of thousands of people basically? That's why basically they never thought there basically. So one of the person told that this everything basically is passed. Now the data has connected up to this level, that is 150 land is divided. 1 crore is the land energy basically, which is that is the planet energy basically, which is passing, which has divided the India land. And on the base of that India land basically the 5000 crore population is going to generate after. But till now basically the Earth planet basically will get end basically. Till now basically the Earth planet 5000 crore will be the population basically, which is going to connect with this Earth planet. So you can just imagine these all are the simple static data basically, which is going to connect to current data, and then basically the certain level of execution happens in universe basically. That is basically 100% basically you can write down somewhere. Current data and the static data basically, when the Earth planet basically the India land was divided, that time basically the static data basically was generated in the environment basically. That 5000 crore will be the population. If this will connect to this particular population, then current earth planet basically will 100% will end. Why? Because the universe connection basically are there. So one of the person told ये सब मतलब real है कि basically. Then one of the NASA group basically ISRO group basically told यार ये तो check करना पड़ेगा, we have to check this basically. Then satellite group basically and universe group told that basically it might be correct also basically. Because when the planet basically was divided, that time basically the India land basically was divided by the 1 crore planet's energy basically, and 5000 crore basically is the last population basically, which is going to take birth basically. It can be any person basically. It can be ladies, it can be other than male, female, it can be male also. So that was basically the static data which was drawn basically long before basically when the land was divided. This all seems to be one of the person told that ये साला है करा है मेरे को लगता है. Then what is real basically that you find when really basically the world will end and really basically the universe will get end. That time basically you will 100% will say that basically यार ये तो really basically the world ended, a universe ended basically. So one of the person told that यार एक simple सी बात है basically the Indian group basically was not able to handle Sunil or NAIR basically due to BJP, due to Congress basically, due to Aam Aadmi Party basically just now came basically, due to Samajwadi Party, due to Parliament House basically, that are basically the Delhi group basically, and the businessmen basically who are in the Gujarat and in the Maharashtra basically, and in Bangalore, in Hyderabad basically, the King family were not able to handle Sunil or Nair. Simple basically, one job and marriage basically. They also basically, that also basically, they were not able to generate, and the things basically connected up to this level basically. So one of the satellite group told that where this Rajasai family are staying basically. Sunil, you have that address basically. And they are basically the God family basically. They are Muhammad Pegambar family. They are basically the Sri Ram Hanuman family. They are basically the Jalaram God family. They are basically the Jesus Christ family. They are basically ruling in the kingdom basically. But they mostly basically might not be staying there. Why? Because they know that basically one day anything basically can happen. Because what they are doing that they know basically. That's why. So they basically never stays in the Raj Mahal, which are basically in front of the world basically. They mostly never stays basically. Mostly people basically never stays. So one of the person told that yeah, one simple problem basically connected up to this level basically. This was supposed to handle by companies. This was supposed to handle by governments. This was supposed to handle by local public basically. If government is not doing their task, then local public is not. For example, traffic police basically. Traffic police, lots of traffic police basically traffic jam basically came into the picture. So the local public basically comes into the picture. So that is the best example basically. Somebody is basically displaying the example basically. That's see basically this type of also basically you can solve the problem basically. So the normal public also basically not helped Sunil or Nair basically. And the things basically connected up to 150 land basically divided, India land divided, 5000 crore basically is the population basically. This number basically are basically just taken as, but reality basically is this only, and 1 crore is the earth sorry planet basically which has divided the India land basically, and that is the base of the entire earth planet India land creation basically. Like this basically 150 land has already divided basically, and here basically we are talking about only India land. In next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about this topic.